Hello and welcome to the video series that we've put together for you as per-course faculty or teaching assistants in the Department of Modern and Classical Languages. Hopefully you'll find it to be useful, beneficial, informative, and not too boring, okay? You just got to get through it. But first of all, I just want to thank you very much for working for the department as department head. We couldn't do what we do without you as teaching assistants in our graduate program or per-course faculty, so just a big thank you for working side by side with our full-time faculty. And without further ado, let's get on to the course. Alright, so for each of these lessons, and there are 8 of them, I'm going to start off with just a quick overview so you know what to expect in terms of content. So in lesson 1, we're going to start off by talking about why it is that we've created this video course and what we hope that you will get out of it. We're going to go on to talk about our approach to language instruction, a little bit our philosophy behind language teaching and assessment. I will introduce and preview some key terms and concepts that we'll be presenting throughout the remainder of this series. And then finally, I will give you a preview or overview of the remaining 7 video lessons, just the titles. Alright, so why are we doing this? Why have we created this course for you guys? Well, for a few reasons. First, just to save time in the face-to-face orientation that we'll have later. It's just way too much information to cover in one face-to-face session. It'd be a very long day. Secondly, to provide a resource that you can refer back to if necessary. And also to just sort of ensure a blanket, uniform understanding of certain things among the instructors in the basic language program. For example, we want to make sure that you're all aware of your responsibilities and our expectations for you as employees of the department. We want to make sure that you say that we all share the same understanding of the key concepts that drive our course design. And we want everyone to understand our approach to instruction, how we teach our classes. We also want everyone to understand our overall approach to assessment, how we measure learning and progress. And of course, this course will help you to understand our course design, how it's supposed to work, and how to actually implement it. Now, as you go through this course, you're going to learn a whole bunch of terms and concepts. Some you may know, some you might not know as well. You might not be as familiar with. And that's why we're here as well. So I'm just going to put some of these up on the screen. I won't read them or explain them right now, but just to give you an idea of sort of the depth and the breadth of topics that we'll be discussing. These are some of the key terms and concepts that we'll be learning about. So everything from what is actful to backward design, the can-do statements, performance assessment, the flipped classroom, and things like that. The reason we want you to go through this course is that if you're not familiar with every single one of these concepts, you're going to be at a disadvantage when we have our face-to-face training and throughout the course of the semester. Another thing I wanted to introduce in this first video is just give you an idea of our philosophy, what our approach to language instruction here is in the Department of Modern and Classical Languages, MCL. And there's maybe 5 bullet points I want to cover. First, what's our goal? Our goal is to help increase students' language proficiency and communicative competence. And because that's our goal, right, to enhance communicative competence, we think that what students are able to do in the language is ultimately more important than what they know about the language. So it's all about using the language to communicate. And we also believe that performance builds proficiency, and we'll talk about these 2 concepts later on. So we emphasize performance assessment over other kinds of assessment. One thing we do in our program is we encourage student responsibility for learning outside of the classroom through preparation and reinforcement activities. So we're shifting a lot of the responsibility for learning to students who have time and the means to prepare outside of class. That means that we use our class time, our precious class time. Our classes only meet 150 minutes a week to facilitate interactive communicative activities for our students that prepare them for the assessments. Alright, that does it for this first lesson, the video course overview. Let's see what's coming up next in the rest of this exciting series. The next lesson has to do with your responsibilities as a teaching assistant or a per-course instructor in the department. Then we're going to move on and talk about some of the frameworks we use to design our program and our courses, and then a video on what we want students to learn, our learning objectives, and some related concepts. We'll talk about how we measure learning. That has to do with assessments. how we approach teaching. We'll talk a little bit about communicative language teaching and some more specifics in that area. And then a very important video is number 7, because we're going to talk about our current course design, okay, so that you can understand that a little bit better. And then finally, in lesson 8, I'm just going to provide some kind of tried and true best practices that you can follow for more effective teaching. So I'll see you at the next lesson, number 2, responsibilities.